Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who have never been here before, my name is Alicia. For those of you who have been subscribed for a while and just haven't seen my face in forever, let me reintroduce myself. I am Alicia. So it has been 1,000 years, I feel like, since I've posted on YouTube or recorded a video. I think my last vlog, which was a vacation vlog, went live over a year ago, and after that I just kind of went missing at least from YouTube. So much life has happened since I posted that last video, especially since I've done any kind of vlog since then. I think the last time we actually had a sit down chat, I don't even know if I had a job yet. I had just gotten a new job. I had quit coaching. I think I took you guys through my whole reasoning for why I was no longer coaching. I got a new job, which I was really, really excited about, working with a startup. And since then, I have gotten a job, being let go from that job. We have purchased a new home. We are in a new home now. My husband has gone into his business full time. A lot has happened, and a lot of ups, downs, all around. 2023 has been interesting, to say the least. But through all of this, I have really been feeling this urge in the back of my mind to really get back into doing YouTube. And I'm not sure just yet exactly how that's going to look in the grand scope of my life or my business. But I've always said that I really wanted to do video because I love home videos. The ones where your parents would take it Christmas time or your birthday parties. And I didn't have enough of those when I was a kid. I think our home videos stopped when I was maybe 5 or 6 years old. And I would have loved to be able to go show my daughter now what my life was like and what things I was doing, before she was born. So one of the big reasons why I really do love doing video is so that I can record what's happening in my life. And like I said, a lot of life has happened, y'all. So since I have been gone for so long, I figured I would just do a really quick update on what's happening, where I've been, what I'm working on now, what I am looking forward to the most. And I hope that you guys will follow me on this journey. Like I said, I'm not exactly sure how YouTube is going to play into my everyday life or my content calendar, but I do have some ideas of how I would love for it to serve. So we will talk about that a little bit later. All right, so let's get into this whole job situation. So early last year, I talked with y'all about how I finally decided to close my coaching business, how I just no longer felt like it was a part of my purpose. I felt like that purpose had been fulfilled. I felt like everything that I needed to learn in that season I had learned, and it was time for me to move forward. And coaching really became one of those things where I felt like I was forcing it. And I had clients, I had amazing clients, that wasn't the issue. I just felt like everything I was doing was being forced. And I know from years of experience, when I begin to feel like that, then that means it's time to pivot. But at that time, I had no clue what I was pivoting to. So I literally closed down my entire business, the only way that I was making money, and had nothing lined up. I had no clue what I was going to do, but I was very open to what would come next. I was open to finding a job. I was open to start another business. I was open to doing some freelance work. I was just open, and I told God, whatever it is that you want from me, I am here, I am accepting, just give me whatever. And I ended up getting a job with this startup that I really, really, really love. The way I got this job, y'all, was nothing but God. literally a testimony in itself. So I got this job as a community manager. I was so excited. A digital community manager, because when I say community manager out loud, people think that I'm working like in an apartment complex. Been there, done that. This was not it. This was like a digital community manager. So working in that job, like super excited. I started in April of 2022, end of April 2022, went through the holidays working in this position, and then in February of this year, 2023, I was let go. I won't go into details, but overall it just wasn't a good fit. You know, we had some differing ideas of what community was, which I totally respect. So I was let go from that job in February, and prior to then, for a few months, I was like going through old journals, thinking about like old pieces of content that I had created that really like made me excited. And just from those things, I knew that I really wanted to somehow shift into the wellness space. I just wasn't 100% sure how. So, you know, I've always created content for women entrepreneurs of how to like grow and start their own businesses, but a layer of that content was always rooted in like your mindset, or like doing things that get you excited, or being able to take care of yourself as an entrepreneur. And back then when I was thinking of that content, you know, it was just a part of what you do. It was never anything that I thought too deep into. But it wasn't until I started going back through like my old content and just really thinking about what I wanted to do and like the mark I wanted to leave in this world. And I realized I was really passionate about being in the wellness space, specifically for women entrepreneurs. But again, I had really no clue of how I was going to do that. So I simply just revamped my newsletter. I like started talking more about shifting your mindset. I started talking more about how to rest. I started talking more about how to take better care of yourself as an entrepreneur, and like why that is so important for your success. So I was doing that newsletter pretty consistently. I was really excited about it. And then I was let go from my job unexpectedly. So it was kind of at like a point where, you know, I was back to not knowing what in the world I was going to do next, especially what was going to make me money. And I knew in the back of my head that what is now my company, Mind Body Brand, could be something. I just wasn't sure how all the pieces would come together. And I really struggled with a lot of imposter syndrome as I was thinking about what was going to happen next, because I am not a fitness guru. I do not consider myself to be a wellness guru, but I am someone who has experienced severe burnout time and time again. I am someone who values rest. I am also someone who got caught up in the trap of believing that the only way I could be successful was to be a part of the hustle culture. And I've worked really hard to like move past that. So I was kind of in this position after I got let go of my job of feeling like, well, damn, I'm not good at having a job. I'm not good at being an employee. I'm not good at running a business. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, if I'm not good at either of these things, and like these of course were just lies that I was telling myself, like, what is my space in this world? Like, what am I here for? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? And it really put me in a position of just being really sad and confused. So like I went through a season after that of like just talking to God and praying and hoping that he would give me an answer of like, what am I supposed to be doing, Lord? And then it sucked. It sucked real bad. We had just bought this new house. We sold bigger bills, you know. I got comfortable with being like financially comfortable with, you know, having a job. So I wasn't ready to kind of go back to that feast or famine or like that grind life. I wasn't ready to go back to that. My newsletter was doing pretty well, but it wasn't making me any money. So I was really just in this place of being like, Lord, I don't know what I am doing, but I tried my best to just trust him and to trust the process. So fast forward, I'm still like looking for jobs. Nothing is coming through. I'm just getting like rejection email after rejection email after rejection email. And I finally came to a point where I felt like God was telling me, like, it's all gonna make sense, but you need to get very clear on what it is that you want, and you also need to start putting forth the effort to get what you want. So like working as if it was already done. So like I was so stuck in this almost like depression state where like I was barely like applying to jobs. I was doing like the bare minimum of business. I was just lounging around and like not really doing much because I kept telling myself I'm gonna wait for God to like tell me what it is that I need to do, not realizing that he was also waiting for me to tell him what I wanted so that then he could then return and tell me what to do. You feel me? So it was just a lot. So I finally sat down and just got really clear on like what I wanted to do. And it all boiled down to things that I have been talking about for years that I never did because one, I was coaching, and being a business coach, I felt like that was the only thing that I could do because it was the thing that had made me money for so long. It was the thing that people, you know, knew me for. I felt like I was still very trapped in that space. And then also things that kind of showed like little bits of evidence from way back of what I could have been doing. So I went back to old journals and just prayed and thought, and you know, I always ask this question anytime I come to a pivot, and it's, what would I do if money were not an issue? So I said I would write. I have always wanted to write books. I have talked about that literally my entire life as a entrepreneur, and literally have been saying it since I was a kid. So I wanted to write books. I want to build community, which is what I love. I want to create physical products, but I kind of tie that into books. And I want to help women entrepreneurs to take better care of themselves. I felt like so much of what we consume in the online world is telling us to hustle harder and be bigger and do the most and do more and like be in competition with all these people and all of these things. And I don't feel like there's enough people who are telling us to rest. I don't feel like there's enough people telling us that it's okay to quit. I don't feel like there are enough people telling us it's okay to pivot and change your mind. I don't feel like enough people are telling us to go take a nap and to rest, not speaking specifically to women entrepreneurs. And that was something that I believe so deeply in. But again, imposter syndrome is a bitch. And I didn't know how to insert myself into that industry. But with sitting down and just thinking about all of these things that I've wanted to do, I started to put together the pieces. My community and email newsletter was originally intentionally made, which was linked to business coaching. So I decided to completely rebrand that to now Mind Body Brand, because I do want to take a holistic approach to entrepreneurship. How do we make sure your mind is right? How do we make sure you're physically right? How do we make sure you're spiritually okay so that you can build the brand that you desire, so that you can live the life that you desire? I just started putting all the pieces together. I have book ideas. I am building a community through my newsletter, which is one of the reasons why I moved my newsletter to Substack, because there are so many community features and I wanted it to be a space where we can all talk about these things. I'm doing in-person experiences. That's another thing I forgot to mention. Early this year, I did my Mind Body Brand event live. So here in Raleigh, I hosted my Mind Body Brand event, which is a day for women entrepreneurs to just come and rest and take care of themselves, which also really confirmed for me that even though I still feel out of place in this industry, I do deserve to be here. And I originally hosted this event back in early 2020 before the world shut down. So this was my first time hosting the events again, and I will link to that video as well in the description. But it was just an incredible time, and it just again solidified that I don't have to know it all, that I don't have to have it all figured out, and that God can use what I have, and I don't have to feel like I am this guru or pro. I don't even have to be any of those things in order for me to do what I feel like I am being called to do. So I am very much in the building stage. I recently spent some time, like an entire week, just going through like my business foundation and being very clear on what our mission is, who I want to target, how I want to help them. So like mapping out an entire framework. So just getting very clear on how I want to show up in this space in a way that is helpful and that is also authentically me. I don't want to show up like someone else. I don't want imposter syndrome to make me feel like I need to show up as someone else. Like, I have been telling people so much on this journey that like I am not a pro, I am not a guru. I am sharing what has worked for me out of experience, and I'm also sharing with you how I am still improving and getting better. So as of today, which when I recorded this is July 31st, 2023, Mind Body Brand is a wellness company that encourages women entrepreneurs to rest so that they can break the cycle of stress and burnout. I believe that rest is your most profitable business strategy. If you're not well rested, if you're running on E, if you're hitting burnout, if you are running around like a chicken with your head cut off, you are not going to be able to build a successful business. You are not going to be able to impact the people that you want to impact in the way that you feel called to. And if it just so happens that you do reach success while still feeling like crap, you're not going to be able to really enjoy the fruits of your labor. And I don't want you to be this super successful entrepreneur who is miserable. So through Mind Body Brand, through our weekly newsletter, through our curated events, through our future products and books, I want to help you to prioritize rest and make it a daily habit in the same way you take care of your family, you take care of the people at your job, your friends, all those things. I want you to make you a priority. So I'm super excited about where Mind Body Brand is going, all of the plans that I have for it. So that brings me to where I'm kind of seeing this YouTube channel going. Give me a second. That brings me to where I see this channel going. I'm trying to be very intentional about the platforms that I am using. So I mentioned that we moved the newsletter to Substack, which is an incredible platform for writers and those who are wanting to like get their writing more noticed and like monetize their work. So like through there, I am sharing a lot of like my journey and like sharing a lot of tips and advice and like sharing our framework through how to prioritize rest and self-care. Over on Instagram and like maybe a little bit of TikTok, I want to break that content up into like little bite-sized pieces and, you know, showcase that in like maybe a more visual form. The newsletter also has an accompanying podcast, which the content isn't different. I just record the newsletter and then also post it on like, you know, the podcast streaming app, so that if you are busy, if you're on the go, you don't have to sit down and look at your phone or look at your computer. You can listen to each week's newsletter. But for YouTube, how I'm thinking about it, I kind of want this to be where I show my journey. So like both showing my journey of how I am trying to get better at prioritizing rest and prioritizing self-care and like just taking better care of me. So like I said, I am not a guru, I am not a professional, I am human. I am just like you, literally. So I want to show more of that side. But then I also too want to show you like a behind the scenes of what it's like to build this new business as a seasoned entrepreneur who is entering into a brand new industry, doing a brand new thing. So I want to share more like behind the scenes, whether it be through like vlogs or like little sit down chats like this, of how I am building Mind Body Brand. And beyond that, I'm still looking for a job too. Like I told you, Like I told God, I am open. I am accepting. Whatever you feel is for me, is for me. And I'm going to like lean heavy into that, because I have learned, y'all, when I try not to control things, that's when great things happen. So I'm leaving it up to the Lord, and he will work it out. Yes. So that's just kind of where I've been, what I'm planning. If you want to know how I'm feeling, I am feeling very nervous. I am feeling very excited, and like I didn't feel as excited until I really got clear on like my brand's foundation. I kind of felt like I was just throwing noodles on the wall and waiting to see what sticks, but like now I feel really good, and I'm really excited, and I'm really excited to hopefully use this platform to kind of take y'all through this journey. So yeah, that is me. That is where I have been. Thank you so much to y'all who like haven't unsubscribed. Thank you to those who may have subscribed after watching this video. Yeah, don't forget to hit that little button. And I guess just let me know, like, in the comments, what do you want to see from this channel? What are you excited about seeing? If there is a topic you want me to chat about, if there is a specific area of my business that you want me to make sure like I show in the vlogs, let me know. And then also you can sign up for the Mind Body Brand newsletter, and when you do, you will get a free digital self-care toolkit. So in this toolkit, I have created a guided meditation. There are journal prompts. There is a habit tracker. There are affirmations. So these guides I typically give to paid subscribers, but if you sign up for the free newsletter, you can download one digital self-care toolkit. And this toolkit is just created to help you to make rest a priority. I understand that everybody is busy. Everyone has like 1,000 things that they're doing at one time. So when it gets time for you to actually take care of yourself, I don't want you to waste that time trying to figure out what to do. So I've got the meditation, the journal prompts, the affirmations, all of that waiting for you. So you can click the link or go to the link in my description, or you can go to mindbodybrand.co to find that self-care toolkit. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I promise I will not take 1,000 years to come back again. But again, if you have any questions or anything you want to know, just let me know.